So this is a quick update. Got the tank running. There's still wires because I haven't received my pumps or anything yet. Rock work's a little low, but it's not bad. I should get flat rocks and raise it, but it's okay. 75 gallon. Here we can open this up a little. Plug in here. I slip coupling there because it goes through the bottom and I'm able to disconnect it. That comes up back here to my return. Now this isn't permanent. I actually have this here, one of these random flow generators, which I will be putting a painted 45 degree here, and that's just going to aim out and have a random generator blowing out. They're pretty cool. So temporarily just rigged this up so it would work. Other stuff down here, all the other plumbing. So there's two main overflows and then emergency. It was very noisy, so I ended up doing the bean animals setup. Barely fit. It's a little noisy now because I just reset the pump. I had it off. It hasn't refilled yet all the way, but it will. And it gets quieter. That was a little tricky. It's a little tight in there, but it's working. I didn't put my top on yet. It's still in this box here. I'm doing a screen. I didn't want a glass to affect with my lights. I did the Ecotech XR15s, two of them. Then I can bridge with the RMS mount from here to here, across, 8 inches tall. I have the Ecotech MP40 pumps coming, one for each side. I had some old pumps I threw in there. Got about 60-70 pounds of sand, about 60 pounds of rock. Up here's still coming. I mean, I just got water in it a few days ago. And let's go downstairs and take a look. Oh, is that I had this 29 gallon set up on a way too expensive trigger system sump. So now this is my quarantine tank, and right now it's dark and there's nighttime. I picked up a very fancy wrasse, something like that. He's beautiful. His colors are so vibrant. Red, blue, yellow. This is the quarantine tank. So it's actually a really nice quarantine tank. It's got the Current USA Pro lighting with the wave pumps and the USB control, so everything is controlled wireless. But I'm using it as my quarantine tank. I reset it up with my Aqueon 300 gallon per hour filter. Works out perfect. It's just some storage. But it's a great quarantine tank. I put it against the wall. I'm gonna mount a board here to put all my electronics on. So everything will be up high off the floor, nothing can get wet. I already have a dedicated outlet here, so I'm just gonna use that for my main outlet. As everyone knows, that's my storage tank for my fresh salt water. I still have not done anything with this because I still have to put up a backdrop down here. So the sump is the same. Look at all the plugs I freed up. They're almost all empty with this new system. Only because I have not set my lighting up or my Ecotech pumps. I think in the beginning, I'm gonna leave all the controls upstairs because none of it's gonna be Wi-Fi except the lighting, because everything requires the ReefLink control, but eventually it's all gonna be through the Mobius app. So once it is, I'll set up all the controls down here, or maybe down here. Down here is gonna be probably most of the controls. I might put a lot of the controls over here. This is all gonna go because it's depleting a lot of water now. I'm gonna have to get a real one that holds at least 10 gallons. Maybe put all the controls over here. I'm gonna put the dosing pump down here, keep it out of the way. I did upgrade my pump to the 1900 gallon per hour Current USA pump. Now I already had it. Otherwise I am going with Ecotech for everything. I like to stick with one brand because it all works together. But the 1900, once I converted it to 1 inch, is keeping up fine. I only have it set at about 70%. I did a flex 1 inch from there to here. And then I did 1 inch PVC, everything's 1 inch. I did a union here. This here is where it goes up under my fish tank and in the bottom. I did a slip, so if you undo the slip in that union, You can actually pull this whole pipe out with no issue. My two main drains, one here, and if you look, not a single bubble. It's dead quiet, completely smooth flow. I mean, it's perfect. Look at that. There's a little slime on there, but nothing. It's running through those right now, and you wouldn't even know. The overflow right there, nothing coming out of it. I am going to be moving my temperature sensors back up into the tank because they don't work good in the sump. I want those up in my tank, which they will go back up. Got tons of media, new media, old media. My heaters, I think I'm keeping them here, but they're not doing great with the temperature sensors here. I want them back in the tank itself. That's 400 watts for 100 gallons of water. It's struggling to keep 82. There's no fish, so I'm just cycling it. I have a second 400 watt in the tank to keep it working right now, just because these were struggling. I think it's because of where these temperature sensors are. The water comes through here, and when it bubbles, that comes down and it goes up. So it goes right through the heaters. This is a little higher than normal right now because I dumped some chemical in, I dumped in this here. I dumped in half the bottle or more. Oh, actually almost 2 bottles. I did a full one and then partial. So that's a lot of extra water. So it's gonna have to slowly evaporate to get my water line back down to here. I still have my auto top off set. It's not set for auto water change yet because it's not gonna need one for a while. It just got set up. The sensors are still in there. I readjusted them a little. Everything is working great. Unfortunately, now this is not through an app because, well, it's $100 to do it, and it would just be for the pump, so I can just control it here, which is fine. Otherwise, I installed a lolly column to the floor, and up this room had a lot of sag. I could bounce the room and shake everything with my 29 gallon. So I doubled up some wood all the way up because it was starting to crack with a little pressure. And it's actually supporting right in front of the tank. There's no flex in the floor, nothing. The tank is 100% level. It came out better than I thought. It's gonna be a little ways before all this is done. I gotta put up wood. It's a lot of work, and I just started working like full time again. So for now, once I get everything, the wave pumps and the lighting, they'll all be plugged in. They should be in this week. Get that going. Still using the same heater control because I like it. It's Wi-Fi and it works. It alerts me of everything. I raised my level in here to use more filter because there's a lot more water flow. You wouldn't even know, but it's probably pushing 600 gallons per hour right now. It's a 1900 gallon per hour pump. Keep in mind, I've got 2 feet here, another 4 feet up there of straight up runs, plus a total of 1, 2, 3 90s and 2 45s. So that's 4 90s. So that's 4 more feet of head pressure. Remember, 45s, not 90s. Every time you use a 90, it takes away from head pressure. When you use a 90 on your overflow, it creates noise. Do 45s. I did 90s upstairs and regretted it, but I converted to the animal bean animal drain system, and it has made it pretty much silent. Once again, that's the return. Other than some debris, you can see tiny little bubbles, and that's it. There's no noise, there's no gurgling, there's no slushing. Without it, it was crazy loud. I mean, I could hear it through the whole house. This is pretty quiet. I keep my sump at 8 inches. It can go up to 9. I just wanted to do a quick update here. I also still have my 10 gallon here as an emergency little tank. It's actually finally stabilized after months. I left the light on for 24 hours and got some algae, but it's finally stabilizing. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with it. It costs money to run each one of these tanks. I could buy a little $20 stand and put it over next to that one. I'm gonna be buying coral and fish a lot, because a 75 gallon tank is going to take a lot of fish and corals, so it might not hurt to have 2 tanks, one little one for coral, one for fish. This guy here he's really a pretty fish. You don't want to bother him. The lights are dimming out. It's nighttime. He's a fancy, I think he's got a fairy fancy wrasse, They had two of the same ones, but this one was more colorful and he was bigger. He's eating, he seems good. Good fish, very pretty. Alright guys, buckets galore, they're just everywhere. I want to keep my fish stuff really condensed against the wall and away from everything. It's really just getting out of control. Okay, sorry I haven't uploaded. I'm probably gonna by the time you guys see this, I'll probably have uploaded some other videos, or maybe I'll just skip them and do this one. I'm still gonna build the top screen for my tank. Get the lighting up. It's only been a week since I got the tank, so it feels like a lifetime. It's been a lot of work. The overflow I used on the tank upstairs was the new Eshopps Prodigy Large. It works out great so far, but they are noisy as hell. They're so noisy. And you can try and reduce your ball valves. It doesn't matter, it's noisy. So when I read into the bean animal setup, some people's have no noise. Mine's got a tiny bit, but it's not enough to complain about. So overall, I'm gonna try it the way it is, see how things go. And if it works out, I'll leave it the way it is. It was a little tricky. It was a little tricky to get it right. The setup for the drain. It was very tight. It fit very tight. Probably should have got a bigger overflow. The one I got is good for 900 gallons per hour. I have not cranked up my pump to max yet. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's gonna need 900 gallons per hour. It's a 75-gallon tank. I think between 6 and 800 will be adequate. Eventually, this one here I'm setting up with the same auto aqua water change system and top off, because it's too much work having, right now I have 4 tanks. It's just too much work doing them all. I can't do it. This one's gonna be my primary quarantine, and then mine over there is mine for upstairs. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to ask. I did throw in some extra biological filtration rings media down there. I already had some established that I put in the filter, but this tank's gonna need a little boost, I think. I refilled it with 50% of its own water and then 50% new, because it had high levels of everything, but now it's good. This thing right now is showing 0.02 or lower ammonia, and that is correct. I tested it. It's probably gonna start going up because I just put a fish in there. But we'll see what happens, and when I get under some better light, I'll show this fish, because he really is a nice fish. I can't get it to zoom on him, and I don't want to turn the lights on. Alright, I'll upload this as soon as I can. Thank you for watching my videos. If you've liked, please like and subscribe, as always.